What up everybody, it's Casper. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what I thought about the movie Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. So let's get straight to it. With this movie, there's just been many moments where I've seen clips of it, but never the whole full movie. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy is a 2004 movie. It's rated PG-13 and it's an hour and 34 minutes. Starred by Will Ferrell, Christina Applegate, Steve Carell, Paul Rudd, David Koechner, Fred Willard. It was a trip to see these actors as well. We had Seth Rogen in here, Danny Trejo was in here. It was a trip to see him. Jack Black made a little appearance as well. So Will Ferrell's acting in general made me laugh because there's just many moments where if you were there in person, just the way he presented those mannerisms and those way his character is, I would just be laughing. But other times you can tell that it might be a little extra and it might be a little too much, but honestly love the whole performance. I like how Will Ferrell thought he had that whole swagger and the way he pushed it out, the way his lines are. He just made it very funny. The introduction was very clean. It went right away to Will Ferrell, so this movie did not hesitate to just show him as the first person. There's a lot of funny moments in here with Will Ferrell in senses of like he's just very goofy. One of my favorite parts in the movie is when he's getting his job back and he starts crying on the phone.
Ed, hello!
Listen, Ron,
Our Miss Corningstone disappeared in the midst of the biggest story of the year.
we need you down here right away.
Wait, Ed, does this mean you're asking me to report the news again?
Yes.
Ed, that's wonderful, thank you! Ed, hold on, I wanted to say if you would... You have always been a good friend!
Right.
Always.
Right.
Get down here as quickly as you can. Ed, I'll be down there!
So hilarious. You know he's just been wanting this job back. The whole acting in general, from start to finish, you could see that his character was up and down like a roller coaster, and meeting Veronica in the movie, very perfect, and it fit very well because you could see how easily distracted her being in the whole environment made Will Ferrell want to step up his whole thing, and he was shocked that she was there. Jokes were very direct, so it's one of those things, if you missed it, you had to rewind it and catch it again. Everything was clean, from like the fight scenes of all of them fighting all the other channel networks. That was dope as well. And like I said, you saw actors in here that didn't get too much screen time, but when they did, it fit very well. Will Ferrell's performance, I liked it. Made me laugh a lot. I could feel like this movie is a classic for sure with Will Ferrell's performance. One of his dope movies. From the lines from David Koechner, who plays Champ.
It is Anchorman, not Anchor Lady, and that is a scientific fact.
It's just hilarious where the confidence was in the beginning. Champ is very funny in the movie. He's another cocky dude in the group. Fit perfectly. I like how he was the sports department. His whole vibe in general was hilarious. He had a goofy look, and the fact that he's bald in the middle made it look even more hilarious. So the fact that they're used to being all dudes there and the girl comes, Veronica, it was just perfect. I like how that just showed kind of like how it was back then in the 70s, how it was just like one-sided, male dominant type of stuff. It was hilarious, and I like the whole plot. The fact that Veronica was the one that made everybody want to step up their game, and how everybody in the news station was trying to get at her at one point. So I'll give props for the whole idea. They picked the right characters for this whole movie. Every character in here is funny in their own way, so I appreciate that. Even Christina Applegate, who played Veronica, give props to her because there's many parts in the movie where you're like, dudes are kind of like shitting on the females, like doing whatever they want. It's dope that Veronica, as her character, showed that she's very female dominant and she could be a boss, and it gave, you know, females hope. So I like that perspective of the movies. You know, there's confidence for the females as well to be like, yeah, I'm rooting for her. Don't take all that bullshit from the dudes. So I appreciated that too. That was dope. Another funny character that I liked in the movie that was just very random and seemed like not an air, but seemed like a balloon with the happy face on it. Steve Carell's character, who plays the character Brick.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
He's just, his whole presence, Steve Carell's just hilarious in general. His mannerisms, his just being there was definitely felt. He did an amazing job on putting that character and just being there. And there's many funny moments in this movie where he had those random moments where you're just laughing at that. You're like, why, but it's perfect. So Steve Carell did amazing job in senses of just being so random, just seemed like a air bubble just floating around following the group. So he did a good job. His lines were hilarious. A lot of funny moments with Steve Carell. So if you haven't seen the movie, he was a standout, and just whenever the camera was on him, it was dope. This movie, like I said, is just dope that it exists, and it's very random. Like, it's not trying to prove a point at all. Nothing in the movie makes sense, so you gotta like really enjoy it for what it is. The camera direction is dope. There's nothing too trying hard at all, and the costume design is hilarious, so everyone looks funny. The fact that they had like action scenes with the other new cast people, like, it's interesting. It brings you in, and the other characters that are from the other news stations, you're like, oh, you can kind of sense that new station vibe with those characters. And there's a huge competition in that world where Will Ferrell's station is the #1 rating. So the fact that the whole news community knows that they're #1, and they point out the other news stations that they're second, third, and last, like, that's even more funny, and it adds to that world. This movie makes no sense, but it's dope that it exists. Characters that are here make it all worth it. The whole vibe of the movie is very good. This movie kind of had like a TV show vibe with all these characters, and they just extended it to this movie. The first movie is dope. I know they have an Anchorman too, so I can't wait to get to that one. If you're not used to like the humor in here, you might think it's too much, but the humor in this movie would definitely be not accepted at this time right now, because this humor in here is like, oh damn, pretty hardcore, instead of like, damn, that was pretty grimy. But I thought it was hilarious because they're just joking. It's a goofy movie, no purpose, just glad it exists type of movie, because it's very hilarious. So definitely recommend it for people who haven't watched this movie. I'm glad I got the full watch in, and I enjoyed every small character that are big now. Seth Rogen was in this movie, and he's doing crazy things right now. You saw Jack Black in here and his little parts.
This burrito is delicious, but it is filling.
What the hell, bro?
Hello, neighbor.
Did you just throw a burrito out your window?
I believe I did.
What, are you high or something?
Whoa.
Did you see what happened?
I did see. That was a terrific little spill. That's quite a raspberry.
That's my chopper you just thrashed, bros of.
Easy, compadre. I'm your friend out here, all right?
I want you to fix my chopper before I stomp your goofy ass.
If you want to throw down in fisticuffs, fine. I've got Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary waiting for you, right here.
You destroyed the only thing I love. All right, there it is. What do you love?
I love poetry. And a glass of scotch. And, of course, my friend Baxter here.
Well, guess what? Now this is happening.
Excuse me. Excuse me. What are you doing?
That's how I roll.
Everybody fit well for what they had. That world of this Anchorman, the legend of Ron Burgundy, is very hilarious. After watching this, out of 10, I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. So that's my movie review for the movie Anchorman, the legend of Ron Burgundy. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.